Hello everybody, how are you doing? Super excited for you to be with me today and maybe with you. Right now, we have maybe one of the best opportunities to find deals that's happened in a long time. Now, it's not gonna happen today, but it's starting out now. I've been doing fix and flips for over 20 years, and this moratorium on foreclosures that ended a few months ago, and now the FHA moratoriums ended, I've seen some increase in some data. I'm seeing more foreclosures starting to happen, and that's going to continue on. And I want to talk about that and how we can help people out, capitalize, and make some money in the process. And so this is the time to be marketing for pre-foreclosure properties or learning about them. If you don't know how foreclosures works, if you don't know how pre-foreclosures work, you are going to be lost in this opportunity that's coming up. But since you're with me today, I'm going to teach you all about it and help you along the way. So if you wait much longer, you could be too late. And so I want to show you effectively targeting of pre-foreclosures so you can get yourself a deal quickly in the coming months that are coming up here, guys, because there's going to be great opportunities. So excited to have so many of you with me today. Let's just jump right into this, guys. There's a lot to go over. And so we are going to get rocking here. Let's make sure, nope. Okay, there we go. All right, the memorandum is over. How to scoop up pre-foreclosure deals is what we're talking about today. What we're going to be covering, we're going to go through a finding tip of the week, which we're going to be talking about involuntary liens. If you're new to us, we do this every single week. We do a finding tip of the week every single week. We're going to go through the process of foreclosure. It's really important for you to see that and understand that. We're going to talk about how to find great deals with pre-foreclosures, how to make deals even if there's low equity. How can you make a low equity deal work? So we're going to get into that. So today's agenda, as always, we'll do our welcome and updates, which we're doing now. Thank you for being with us. Then we'll jump into our real estate news. We'll go our finding tip of the week. We'll go through our topic of the week. We'll do our t-shirt giveaway, which is known worldwide. And then I like to give a free tool of the week, something you can use to help you in real estate investing right now. So we'll be giving that away as well. This show is for entertainment purposes only. And before you make any financial moves, consult with real estate professional, CPA, or other professionals in the subject matter. Everybody's situation is different. There's no one size fits all. DHM may receive payments on the show from sponsors, guests, in the forms of books, giveaways, items, discounts, other remunerations. As with anything in life, results come from education, following a system, hard work, and determination to follow through until the end. If you have not already, please put your name and the city and state that you are investing in. I want to say hello to all of you. So we've got Michael in West Texas. Michael, thanks for being with us. We've got Oscar that has said hello. Oscar, where are you investing from? I think you're in Boston, if I remember right. Oscar needs a deal. That's awesome. Let's talk about it. Reginald is with us. Michael is with us. Please let me know where you're investing. It would be fantastic. Oscar, where are you investing? I'd love to know that. Our t-shirt giveaway. So at the end of this live cast, we will announce last week's t-shirt winner, okay? But starting right now, you are in the runnings for next week's t-shirt winner. So the things you say from here on, the questions, the things you ask, that type of stuff is going to put you in the runnings, and we'll announce that next week. So for those of you that have been a winner of the week, please take a photo of you wearing our shirt. We love to see it, and post that pic of you in the shirt on our Facebook page. For those of you that have gotten shirts that haven't done this, please go do this. Facebook.com/DoHardMoney. You can post a picture of you in one of our amazing shirts. And I guess I just need to take this opportunity to, so I'm wearing our Flippin' Did It shirt, which is one of my favorites. This one is our Flipping Legend shirt. Let me know which shirt you like the best. That's our 3/4. That's our fall edition. This is our Flipping Legend summer edition. And then we've got our I made it through a rehab, and then just the I Flip and Did It. So those are the ones we got. If you have a good idea for a shirt, type it in If we end up making a shirt, I'll send you one free. I'll pay postage, I'll pay for the shirt, all that stuff. So if you got a great idea for a shirt, please type it in. I would love to see it. I'd also love to know which shirt you like the best, because I would love to know which shirts are the big hit. Okay, so let's see here. We've got a couple Oscars in Boston. I thought so, Oscar. I remember you. Ernest is in Peoria, Illinois. Fantastic. Like to invest in North Carolina or Atlanta. That's fantastic. We've got Marcus with us in Tucson, Arizona. Thank you, Marcus, for being with us. We've got R. Coates from Macomb, Georgia, I'm assuming. Oscar likes our fall shirt. Michael, I don't know what that means, but I would love to know, so tell me more, Michael. Oscar, let's make it happen. All right, let's do that. Please keep the comments rolling. I love it. Whoops, it looks like we are on the wrong slides here. Okay, there we go. Now you can see. Michael likes t-shirt. I freaking love flipping with DHM. I freaking love flipping with DHM. Hey, what do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of that? Oh, I flippo. That's for a shirt. I got you now. I flippo. Okay. Keep them coming, guys. Vote on these. If you like this, I freaking love flipping with DHM, let me know, because that's kind of got a ring to it. Kate, will you jot that one down and let's let our marketing team know, because I kind of like that one. But what do you guys think? Do you like that? Okay, so if you want a shirt, what you've got to do is ask great questions, leave positive comments, maybe come up with a good shirt idea, high interaction, and comment on the recorded video. That last one is a big one. All of these videos are recorded. We do them live. It's a live session right now, but then they're recording. You can go back and listen to them. I've been accused of talking a little fast, and you can go back and watch it time and time again. But with all of that, we will go back and choose one winner, and that winner will be our t-shirt winner of the week. We've already determined the winner for last week. We'll be announcing them today, but next week's winner is what you are competing for now. All right, guys, I need your help. We are currently at 6,130 subscribers. My goal of the end of October is to be to 6,360. So I'm looking for 225 new subscribers. So if you are listening to me right now and you're not currently a subscriber, please go hit that subscribe button. And if you type it in the comments here, I would really appreciate it, because I'd love to give you a personal thank you. So if you're not currently a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and put it in the comments, because I would love to know that. Oscar's got another one. Let's make it flippin' happen. Shirt. Let's make it flippin' happen. Let's make it flippin' happen. Okay, it's got some ring. What do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of these shirts? You like Michael's better? I freaking love flipping with DHM, or let's make it flippin' happen shirts. Let's. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Okay, guys, so I do videos every single week, and these videos are ones that answer a specific question. So like a waste of money, or I'm done. These types of videos will answer some questions. And if you watch one of those videos and you have a question you want me to do, just type it in the comments and I'll create a video for you and for everybody else. But before we do anything else, we need to give a big shout out to Michael, who just subscribed, our newest subscriber. Michael, thank you for being our newest subscriber. I really appreciate it. And I also like your shirt idea. Let's make it flippin' happen. Okay, this is interesting. I like it. So it looks like we've got a few in the runnings here. Okay, let's make it flippin' happen. We've got the I freaking love flipping with DHM. Are those the two? Oh, you're saying the same. Marcus is saying the same one, that let's make it flippin' happen. I like that. Okay, it's got a ring to it. So do you like I like it flippin' happen, or do you like I freaking love flipping with DHM? I kind of like both those. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, guys. So I do videos every single week. I do multiple videos, so you can check those out. So hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, take the great example of Michael and be a subscriber with us on our YouTube channel. Leave a comment on the recorded video, but the most thing is if you tell someone else about this. That's the best thing you can possibly do, and I would really appreciate it. So next, stay tuned to the very end. At the very end, I will be giving away our Motivated Seller Sheet. sheet, absolutely free, no strings attached. So I want you to get a copy of that. The motivated seller is what you should say once you've got a seller that's interested, right? So somebody's like, yeah, I'm interested. Well, what do you do next? This goes through and asks questions about it so that you can get closer to trying to make a deal happen. Oscar, it's something you would definitely want to get your hands on. Okay, guys. The real estate market update. What is happening in the real estate market? What is happening in your area? What are you seeing? I want to give you some feedback, what we're seeing national and in some areas, but I would love for you to type in what you're seeing in your area and how some of this information compares. But before I do that, it's time to take a drink of water. Okay, guys, real estate market update. Here we go. Should you prepare for a housing market crash in 2021? According to Yahoo Finance, will there be a housing market crash in 2021? A majority of experts think not, that it won't be happening. I look at it as a phase. The market is cyclical. There may be some slight corrections, but it won't be nearly as bad as what we saw in 2008. What's different today from what we saw in 2008 is that people who are actually qualified for the loans, people who got the loans actually qualified for the loans. So they're saying that is not the case back in 2008. More from Yahoo Finance, I'm expecting the marketing to begin to cool off, but for it to be more of a plateau than a crash. However, I am always looking for how I can prepare just in case something drastic happens and we experience a real estate crash. So it's, they're saying, hey, this is kind of unlikely. Okay, we've got Michael, properties popping up everywhere in the city. All right, click it, flip it, and kick it. Click it, flip it, kick it. Click it, flip it, kick it. I don't get the kick it part. I don't get the kick it part. Click it, I like it, because that's like our software and those things. Investor's Edge. Flip it, I get it. Kick it. Oh, kick it like you're kicking it because you made some money. Okay, maybe I got that. Let me know what you guys think of that one. I like that one. Okay, let's flip in. Okay. Hot market, 5 to 15 days on the market. Stable market, 2022 with limited inventory in southern Arizona. Yeah. There was a report by KSL that talked about the top overvalued housing markets. If you're in one of these housing markets, let me know. This research is brought to us by the Florida Atlantic University and Florida International University. The top most overvalued markets, this is really interesting, guys. Boise, where homes are selling at an 80% premium. Austin, Texas at a 50% premium. Ogden, Utah at a 49% premium. Provo, Utah at a 46% premium. Detroit, Michigan at a 45% premium. Spokane, Washington at a 45% premium. Salt Lake City at a 42% premium. Phoenix, Arizona, 42% premium. Las Vegas, Nevada at a 41% premium. And Stockton, California at a 38% premium. One thing you'll notice in here, who's my Arizona? Marcus from Arizona. Arizona's not on this list. And I got to tell you, Vegas and Arizona and Southern California were on that list back in 2007. So I think that's pretty interesting. What's next for real estate market? We asked the chief economist at National Association of Realtors. This is according to Market Watch. Lawrence Yoon, chief economist at the National Association of Realtors, weighed in. In a brief view, his opinion was somewhat mixed. He believes the market will indeed cool, but perhaps not enough to bring prices down. This is interesting. The homes sales market is already cooling as some first-time homebuyers are squeezed out due to the very high home prices. Homes sales will further decline in 2022 as the Federal Reserve becomes less accommodative, which could send mortgage rates higher, making it more expensive to buy. Real estate has turned out to be a great investment with good financial returns. The gains will continue, but they will be more moderate in the upcoming months and years. Rents will soar as job recovery leads to increased rental demand as home buying is becoming more difficult. Now, when he talks about real estate being a great investment, he's talking about just buying it and hanging on to it. He's not talking about buying it at a discount, fixing up, improvement, doing value add, those types of things. He's speaking to your traditional person that's looking to buy a house, just for some clarification here. What is happening in your guys' area? Type it in the comments. I would love to know. According to Yahoo Finance, refinance the housing market forecast for the rest of 2021, according to realtors. Inventory numbers are also climbing, he said, but prices probably won't go down much as normal. There's a slight change happening in the current housing market where the buyer's demand is actually decreasing. That's interesting. The tragic, consequential, and entirely unavoidable outcome of this ruling will be millions of people will lose their homes this fall and winter. We're going to be talking more of this, but at least a half a dozen states, including New Jersey, California, New York, Washington, have policies in place to protect renters to keep families in their homes, okay? You can't just flip a switch and evict people, says Paul Getty, a real estate investment broker. The eviction process could take up to months because of the backlog in the courts system. Are you guys seeing evictions starting to happen in your area? I'd be interested in knowing that. Although ample federal relief is available, the Treasury Department said that barely 10% of the $47 billion allocated for tenant relief has been distributed. I don't understand this, why these states are taking these drastic moves when there's money available from the feds to help these people stay in their houses. I find that interesting. Many independent property owners have been swamped by rising costs associated with taxes. So if you're in one of those markets we just talked about in Washington and those types of things, one thing, New Jersey, California, New York, and Washington, one thing that you could think about doing is go after landlords that have properties because they still are bearing the expense. If they're not getting the income and they don't have the ability to collect, they may need to sell their property. So something to keep in mind here. Non-owner occupied, i.e. landlords, could be a great opportunity for investors. That's what I'm talking about, guys. CNN Business says Goldman Sachs says 75,000 households could be evicted this year. CNBC states Fed is stoking another real estate price bubble that will wipe out home equity. I feel bad for people who have bought homes over the past year because they're the ones that paid very elevated prices. He singles out those who only put down 5% amid historic low interest rate. If home prices correct by 10%, they'll see a world of pain. That's interesting. A housing market crash is coming. Here's how to prepare. How do we know there's a crash in the future? Well, they say common sense, but the reality is no one can accurately predict the price. And although real estate is not guaranteed, the Federal Reserve does plan to keep the prime interest rate low through 2022, although Lawrence Hume says they're probably going to be raising it this next year, and I believe that that's going to be the case. Obviously, it's all speculation, but it's something to keep in mind. There's also there's issues with inventory due to materials and labor shortages. Builders are nowhere near pre-pandemic building levels. As long as there is little inventory, the homes for sale will likely continue to sell for higher than expected prices. CNBC says as home boom begins to fizzle, weekly mortgage demand falls nearly 7%. Weekly mortgage demand is falling along with it, down 6.9% for the week, according to Mortgage Bankers Association seasonally adjusted index. That is the lowest level in almost a year and a half. Lumber prices dive more than 40%. They're going down in June, and we're continuing to see those leveling off or going down. The great lumber recession of 2021 has popped. Did you know this? Earlier this year, lumber prices went crazy, and they're starting to come back down. At what point it costs $36,000 more to build a house than it would have the year earlier just in lumber. We're not talking labor or anything else like that. According to Market Watch, these are the cities with the biggest share of homeowners in danger of foreclosure. That's what we're going to be talking about today in our main section, guys. One of the groups contact behind on mortgage payments. Around 14.7 of the 7.6 million FHA mortgages outstanding nationally were delinquent as of May, up slightly from the previous month. Additionally, 10.5 of these homes are seriously delinquent, meaning they're more than 90 days due. These are the markets. If you are in any of these markets, please type it in the comments. I would like to know. This is Atlanta, Houston, Chicago, Dallas, Washington, Baltimore, Riverside, San Antonio, Fort Worth, or Philadelphia. Those are the ones that they think are going to have some of the biggest opportunities. Now, just because your area isn't listed here, there is still going to be our opportunity. These are just the ones with the most amount of opportunity. Now, that's good and bad, because if there's a lot of those foreclosures, it may have some impact on values, whereas if it's not as hot of a market with the foreclosures, it may not have as big of an impact on value. So there's a catch-22. It's something you just got to be aware of as a real estate investor. The September 2021 monthly housing report, guys, this is hot off the press. We're only a couple days into October now. And so what we're seeing is the national inventory of active listings declined by 22.2%, which basically means there is less homes to choose from. There's 22% less homes to choose from than there was a year ago at this time. While the total inventory of unsold homes included pending listings declined by 12.6%, the inventory of active listings is down 52%, right? So there's 52% compared to 2019, not just 2020, it's 52%. So you got 22% over 2020, then you've got 52% over 2019. I hope I said that right. 22% from last year, 52% from the previous year. Hope you guys are with me. Newly listed homes are down 3.9% nationally. This is just the new builds compared to a year ago, so there's less of those, and 3.4% down in the large metro areas. Sellers are still listing at rates 12.6 lower than typical from the 2017 to 2019 levels. This is interesting. The September national median price went up again for an active listing, $380,000, up 8.6% compared to last year, which is up 20.6% compared to 2019. In large metro areas, the median prices grew 4.1% compared to last year on average. Nationally, the typical home spent 43 days on the market in September, down 11 days from the same time last year, which is down 23 days in 2019. All right, guys, Michael says East Texas cities, but I'm in the West. I'm in West. All right. Let's jump into this property finding tip of the week before we get into our foreclosure, pre-foreclosures, what we like to call our main event. We always do a way to find property every single week. Sometimes our main event is around finding properties, but even if it's not, we're still gonna be talking about it. So you're gonna get 2 loads on how to find some properties today, which Oscar, take some notes, buddy. This is gonna help you. All right. Let's see, per nonprofits serving troubled renters in Tucson are saying landlords are refusing rent relief subsidy payment and prefer to evict renters that cannot pay. Marcus, that just doesn't make sense to me. Like, as a landlord myself, my goal of being a landlord is to collect rent. So unless they're like destroying my property, why wouldn't I just take the subsidy unless it's like some political thing? But that doesn't really make any sense because I think we should be agnostic as to where the income comes from as long as it's, gainfully earned. I don't know. So I'm curious what your thoughts are on that. All right, property finding tip of the week. Here we go. We are going to be talking about involuntary liens, okay? Involuntary liens is what we're talking about here. So what the heck is an involuntary lien? Who can put a lien on the house, and why are they good opportunities for us as real estate investors? Well, first off, involuntary liens. A voluntary lien is one you agree to be put on your house, right? I volunteer to have that, but that's things like a mortgage or things like a line of credit that you got against the property. And involuntary liens meaning it's putting on there without an agreement for them to put it on. Now, there was an agreement for you to pay somebody, but it wasn't agreed to go against your property. So that becomes involuntary lien against your property. So the question here is, who can put a lien on your home without your agreement? Well, there's a few. Number one, tax liens. Property taxes that are not paid become an involuntary lien. They're on the property. These are typically paid as part of loan escrow, but not always. So that's one to think about. The other one is HOA liens, homeowners associations. If you don't pay your fees to the association, they can lien the property. Mechanics liens. This is work done on the property. You hire a contractor, you hire somebody to come deliver some materials, those types of things, and you do not pay them. That can become involuntary lien. We also have utility liens. If you don't pay your water, sewer, garbage, you don't pay your gas, you don't pay your electric, those can attach to the property and be a lien against the property, but that's involuntary. You agreed to pay the bill to the utility company, but you didn't agree for the utility company to put it against your property, so that's what makes it involuntary. You owe them the money, right? That's how this works. If they didn't pay water, sewer, garbage, gas, electric, we've talked about those. All right, solar liens, this is becoming more popular. This is where someone goes and gets a loan for the solar to go on the property, but it's not recorded against the property. But then if they don't pay, then they record it as not paid. This is another one, child support. This is an unfortunate reality. I hate to see this, but if somebody's not helping out with the child support, that can become a lien on the property. And that's a situation where we can really help somebody out. Now, there's some other types of liens that are going to be varied. So there's other things like property environmental hazards or judgments or traffic tickets or IRS liens, those types of things that can come up as other. Now, this data is better and worse depending upon some places. This typically means that they have a problem, meaning there is a problem. If you have an involuntary lien, you probably have a financial problem. That's the big thing, okay? So if they can't pay for utilities when they may need to sell their house, right? If I can't pay the water, the sewer, the garbage, whatever the case is, and that's a lien against my property, I probably need to get rid of my property. If I can't afford to pay my child support, I probably need to get rid of my property. This is what we call motivation, okay? This is motivation, but motivation alone is not enough. If somebody owes money on a mechanics liens, that's a start, but if they have no equity in their home, I can't do a whole lot for them. But the opportunity is where we have equity and where we have motivation. So also the other big thing here is if they have an involuntary lien for like $200, they're probably not in a bad situation. It could be a mistake, it could be a problem. Maybe they're in a bad situation, but more than likely it's something, I kind of look at it and say, somehow they're gonna work out a $200 problem. However, I looked at things that are $5,000. I kind of think if it's a $5,000 problem and it's an involuntary lien, there's probably a good chance they're not going to be able to take care of that. So that's the type of people I like to help out. And more than most people can come up with if they really had a problem. And if they have a single family home, it's not listed on the MLS with $50,000 more of equity, that's a type of thing I like to look at. So the question is, how do I go about doing this? Well, I can put in a zip code. If somebody wants to put in a zip code, well, let's just use Chicago, I guess. If you're a member of Investors Edge, you have access to this and we have these buckets. So let's jump back over it here. Oh, whoops, sorry guys. Let's just get this rocking. So let's just do Chicago. Let's see. Chicago, Illinois. There we go. Illinois, I think is that right? I don't know. Okay, let's get this loading here. It's moving slow. There we go. Okay, so we've got some unique properties here. So these are lien properties, okay? So if I come here, these are involuntary lien. Whoops, that's not right. Let's get that going. Okay, so these are single family houses, residential, condo, or townhome. They are not on the market. They're not listed on the MLS, okay? They do have active liens, and this is a $5,000 or more lien. The property's worth $500,000 less, and they have 30% or more of equity. So that's what we're dealing with these properties. So let's just take a quick gander at one of these. Like linked properties, that's not what I'm looking for. So this is a property that they have that has some type of an involuntary lien on the property. They've got some equity. See, there's this involuntary lien. So this is actually free and clear, but now they've got a $15,000 lien against the property, this involuntary lien. Now, this is actually owned by a investor, it looks like. It's not owner occupied. So that's something to be interested in. Now this is owned by an individual rather than owned by a company. So that's interesting to me. They owe about $6,000, but the property is free and clear. So that's kind of interesting as well. Now you could change things and say, you know, you want them to owe some money. That might be something. This guy has an involuntary lien for $123,000, guys. That's something we need to go and help this guy out with. Let's grab another one here. This one, these guys have a mortgage for $193,000, and they have an involuntary lien for $20,755, okay? And there's equity, right? We think there's $240,000 of equity. How can we help this guy out? This is an individual. It's not owned by a corporation. So that's a great example of involuntary liens and a way that we can actually do it. Okay, let's do Atlanta real quick. Atlanta, Atlanta, Georgia, because Denzel wants Atlanta, Georgia, so we're gonna do that. Marcus, I just gotta ask you this, so involuntary liens here. Here's what I gotta ask you. Renters become non-qualified, loss of income, dealing drugs, damage to property. Yeah, I mean, if they're taking bad care of the property, if they're dealing drugs, damage to the property, yeah, I wouldn't wanna take their money either. But being non-qualified is less of an issue to me, because if I know that I've got the government paying them for multiple months in a row and they can tap into $1 billion+ of that, I'm less worried about evicting them. I'll deal with that later, unless they're taking bad care of the property. So I hope that helps. That's just my point of view, right or wrong. In Atlanta, who wanted Atlanta? Denzel, here we go. In Atlanta, there's 5,000 of these residential, same thing. Let's just grab one of these real quick. This guy does not have a loan, but he has an $8,000 involuntary lien on this property. That one looks like a condo. This guy does have a loan for $224,000, and he has 3 involuntary liens totaling $4,473. I hope you guys can catch the vision of this. He owes $224,000. He's got these involuntary liens, right? And then there's equity in the property. This is an ideal candidate for us to go help out. Who is saying they need help finding a property? Oscar, I think it was. Yes, this is a great way to find properties with involuntary liens. And then Michael typed in a zip code, and just because he did, I'm gonna look at it. So here we go, 79936. Let's just see, that's in Texas. Let's just see what we can find here. In Texas, and we're looking again for involuntary liens. There's 229 involuntary liens in Texas here. Let's just take a look at those. So this one does not have a loan, but it has an involuntary lien of $6,000, and it's owned by an individual. That's a property. That's a property, Denzel, you should go talk to, okay? This is another one. There's 3 involuntary liens for $124,000, and there's a first mortgage for $24,000, and we think it's got about $176,000 worth of equity, okay, guys? This is what we're talking about here. Let's just grab one more for Michael. Michael, this one doesn't have a loan, but he's got 2 involuntary liens for $5,000, and is owned by an individual. And let's come down here and just grab one more. This is owned by an individual. They do have, look at this, they have a loan for $89,000, and they have $143,000 of involuntary liens. But we think they've got about 104 equity even with those involuntary liens, meaning I could pay off the loan, I could pay off the involuntary liens. There's $100,000 left. Some of that, obviously, I'm going to need for profit and repairs and that type of stuff. And then they could get some of the money as well. So this is kind of a win-win type situation. I hope this has been eye-opening and helpful for you. Marcus says, yes, I agree when it comes to the renters. I got you. How do we get access to your software? Become a member, Marcus. Kate, can you drop for Marcus how he can give us a call and look a little more about investors? This software is called Investors Edge, to get the edge. Okay, we talked about, building a list. Let me just jump back. I don't want to forget this. Let's just jump back over here. So what I can do here, Marcus, or anybody, is you can just come in here, and then you can actually add a list, and you can just build a list, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it. This is my test account, so I have tons of stuff. This is my demo, so there's tons of stuff on here. But then what I can do is I can come and just create a campaign. So I can do postcards, voicemails I cannot do right now. I can do emails, I can do text messages, just texting them myself, right? But what I can do is I can actually skip trace. And so I can take those contacts that I just made, whatever contact group that was, I don't remember what we called it, just call it testing. I can take those and then I can skip trace those. And when I skip trace those, it's 12 cents and I get a huge report. Whoops, let's go back to contacts. So this is what you get. You get email addresses. You're going to get as many phone numbers as we can find for them, and so phone numbers and email addresses. Now, some of these are landlines, some of these are phone numbers, but you can basically call these guys up and say, hey, I understand you're having some problems, let me help you out. Or you can come back over here, you could start a campaign, you can send a postcard, and they just get delivered. You just hit the button and it automatically goes. You can click what postcard you want, select investor postcards only, and if you're one of our members, we have a quick start on this, which is kind of cool. You decide which postcard to use in which situation, because there's a bunch of different postcards. So I hope that has been very helpful for you. I hope that helps Marcus. But so you create the list, you add the list, which is kind of what I just did there real quickly. You name it, and the way you name things is important so that you can make sure. I like to do zip code or city, the type, non-owner occupied or involuntary liens, and then the date, so I can remember that. Skip tracing, you can call them, you can email them, you can text them, and you can send a postcard. Those are different ways that we can go about doing this. All right, Marcus, yes, you bet, guys. Okay, I got to take a drink of water here, and we are going to jump into this moratorium being over. So if you got some questions on those things, type them in now, because I want to cruise through this, and then I'll take some more questions at the end, but we've got a lot of content to get through here, guys. If you're enjoying this, please hit that thumbs up button. Let me know you're liking it. All right. Okay. Moratorium, I think I'm saying that wrong. Moratorium is over. How to scoop up pre-foreclosure deals. Let's jump right into this, guys. What we are going to cover today is the process of a foreclosure. If you don't understand how a foreclosure works, pre-foreclosure is something you're not even gonna be able to touch. We're gonna talk about how to find great deals with pre-foreclosures. We're gonna talk about how to make deals work that even don't have a whole lot of equity. So what was the federal moratorium on mortgages? What was this? Now, this only applied to what are called government-backed loans. So this only applied to VA loans, Fannie Mae loans, Freddie Mac loans, HUD and FHA loans. So if this was just a conventional loan, it didn't apply. If it was a private loan, it didn't apply. It only applied to these types of properties, loans, where what's happening with the lender. Now, lenders could not foreclose if it was this type of loan, and this only applies to these federally backed mortgages, okay? So not private, we talked about that. So how did this start? Well, it started March 18, 2020, okay? 28 million homeowners have mortgage guaranteed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. That doesn't include FHA, VA. There are about 80 million owners that are owner-occupied in the United States, owner-occupied homeowner homes. Lenders could not start a new foreclosure. If they had a foreclosure in the works, they could finish it, but they couldn't start a new foreclosure, okay? That's important to know. So if you had problems before that, they could finish the foreclosure. Now, not all of them chose to. They could, but lots of banks said, we're not gonna do anything right now. So about 1.4 million homes right now are 90 days or greater in delinquent. We call a 90-day late severely delinquent, okay? So there's 1.4 million of these properties that are out there right now. So when did this moratorium actually end? Well, July 31st, 2021 was the first deadline, but FHA extended that to September 30th, and there's a lot of FHA properties. So the Federal Housing Administration announced an extension of the foreclosure-related eviction moratorium for foreclosures borrowers through September 30th, okay? So starting October, you're gonna start seeing more foreclosures happening. Now, the courts are backed up. If it's a judicial court, if it's a non-judicial court, you've got attorneys that are gonna be pretty busy with these. So I think what's really important here is we talk about what this foreclosure process is. So if you're not familiar with this, we've got a borrower who owes money to the bank. So they miss a loan payment. Well, what happens next? Well, they get a letter in the mail saying, hey, you didn't pay the payment, you should come pay this, let's make it happen. They'll probably get a couple phone calls, maybe another letter, those things, and eventually they're gonna get what's called a 30-day late. Now, this 30-day late basically means on your credit report, you're gonna get dinged that you did not make a payment, which is gonna lower your credit score, and everybody will be able to see you didn't make a 30-day payment. Then, if that continues, you get some more hate mail in the mail and some more phone calls, and then you'll get what's called a 60-day late. A 60-day late is going to get dinged on your credit report that shows other people that you didn't keep up on those payments. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get a 90-day late. Once that 90-day late happens somewhere in that process, usually about day 90, it can take longer or it could be sooner depending upon the bank's policies, but somewhere around day 90, again, it varies. They're gonna say, okay, it's time for us to take more action. So the bank tries to work with the owner. Maybe they try and do a loan modification if the owner has a job. If they don't have a job, they can't do a modification because they need to be able to prove the income. If nothing gets worked out on that, then the bank is going to file what's called a notice of default, which tells the world this person is not making their payments. They're in default of it. And in some places, it's called a lis pendens. So lis pendens, notice of default can be interchangeable. it's different in each state, but it's the same concept here where we're saying, hey, these guys are not making their payments. This is what becomes public notice. You see, I can't find out if somebody's 30, 60, or 90 days late. That is private information. I can't go pull somebody's credit report with their authorization or those things. But what I can do is know if a notice of default or a lis pendens was actually filed. If that was filed, that is public and I can know about it, and then I can do something about it. So this means that if you didn't get things worked out with a bank, then the bank is going to foreclose on the property. That's what this lis pendens or notice of default actually means. If nothing gets current, then there's going to be a notice of sale. So you got the notice of default or lis pendens, then there's some time that's going to occur here, right? So, and then what's going to happen, because it gives them a chance to cure it, it's different in every state, but the kind of the process is still the same. And then there's going to be called what's a notice of sale. And once you get the notice of sale, it's usually 30 to 60 days out, the sale is actually going to occur. Now, a notice of sale is also public. So I can go after people that have a notice of default or lis pendens. They're early in the stages. They've already gone through their lates, but they're earlier in the stage of foreclosure. A notice of sale is late in the stage of foreclosure. So notice of sales, you've got 30 or 60 days to make this all happen. So there's probably some greater urgency on those. If it's a notice of default, there's probably not as much urgency, but there still should be urgency because they've got to notice that they're in default. So those are types of things, but both of those are public and both of those I can find out about. On the notice of sale, this tells the date and time the property will be sold and how that sale will happen. A bank can foreclose sale if they want to do that. So a bank can actually bid, and if they're the highest bidder, then they get the property back themselves. So how can an owner get things worked out? If I'm a homeowner and I'm behind, how can I get things worked out? So one thing I can do is I can make up payments. That's doubtful for most people. How are they going to make up those payments? They can sell the property to pay off the loan, which could be a good thing if they've got some equity. An investor like me could come. Now, if the property's in perfect condition, it's probably not a great investment for me because I can't add value to it. But if they're in a desperate, quick situation like a notice of sale, I may be their very best option. So the question here is, how do we find these people that are actually in pre-foreclosure? And the answer is public information. It's this notice of default and this notice of sale as we've been talking about. This notice of default, this is going to be much earlier in that cycle. Some sellers don't take it seriously. They say that they've got it figured out. Maybe they think grandma's going to come and help them out. But then we get to this notice of sale. This is typically 30 to 60 days from the sell date. This is where the homeowner really starts getting desperate. But if you're too late, it can be hard to get a deal done before the foreclosure sale actually takes place. So you've got to realize there's some pros and cons in going after both of those. The question is, can I actually contact these people? How can I get in front of them? Well, for our members that use Investor's Edge, you can do that. On Investor's Edge, you can actually go through and you can actually find those that are in default, okay? So just to give you a quick idea, if we jump back over, let me make sure I've got stuff here. So I'm just gonna jump in like Dallas, just to give you an idea. And this is what I've been seeing that's been going up. Whoops. What I've been seeing is that there are more properties that are now starting to come in pre-foreclosure, where it was very few. Now we're starting to see that increase right here. So there's only 74 right now that are in pre-foreclosure in Dallas, but in the past it was 0. Let's just take another place like Atlanta, Georgia. And this is gonna change every day, right? This is not gonna be the same. This is gonna change every single day. I mean, it could be the same because one goes up, one goes down, you know, that type of stuff. So in Georgia, we've got 81 pre-foreclosures. So we are just on the start of this, okay? But this is what we can do is find these pre-foreclosures. We can come and look at these filters. We're just on the start of this, and this is going to be growing because there are so many, 1.7 million properties that we know are having notice of sale and notice of defaults. Those things are gonna be happening. They're more than 90 days late on this. So we know we are going to have this coming because there's a lot of them. So how do we get in touch with these people, okay? Well, we can send a postcard. We got lots of sample postcards. You can do a skip trace and make a phone call to them. You can text message them. We can also knock on the door and say, hey, I understand you're having some troubles. But the one question I get asked is, what do I say to these people? Like, this is intimidating. I don't want them to get mad at me. I don't want them to think that I'm up in their business. I don't want them to think that I'm like spying on them, whatever the case is. So what do you say to somebody that's in a situation? Well, my recommendation is you hit them straight on. Don't be behind the bush. You basically say, as a matter of public record, which is true, you have public record, it looks like you're having trouble with ABC Bank. I help homeowners with their banks, and I'm wondering how I can help you, okay? That's a great thing to do. And what you can actually do is you can know which bank it is, okay, guys? So if you jump over here, I'm just looking on Investor's Edge, I can come in and I know who the bank is. You're having a problem with ALB Holdings. I help people that have problems with banks and wondering if I can help you. Like, I can just pull that information just right up, so I can be very knowledgeable with that. Now, typically what happens when I have this conversation is the owner's gonna say, I already got it taken care of, right? Either because it's pride or because they feel bad or they don't want people to know or they hope they have it taken care of or they think grandma's gonna come through for them. That's usually what they say. So then what I say back to them is, that's wonderful. Let me get your additional contact information. I want his email. I want his, all that type of stuff, because I want to check the public records and make sure it's still that it's showing correct, because right now it's not showing correct. So I will double check on that tomorrow just to make sure. But if it's not correct, I would like to help you out. So give me your other phone numbers and those types of things, and I'll call you back and let you know what I find. What time would work for you tomorrow? Because I want to make sure that I get in touch with him again so that I can try and help them with this situation. So then we get into this whole concept of like, how do I actually make the deal work? Okay, how do I actually make the deal work? Well, you can give them an offer that's more than what they owe. Okay, if they owe X and you can give them more than that, they can get some money in their pocket, they can walk away with that. You can give them time to move out. So maybe you can buy the property and give them 30 days to move out after the fact, which would be a big help for some people. In some situations, you may need to help them find a new place. Maybe you'll actually give them some money, record that money against the property, allow them to go move into a new place, and then you close on the property. Or maybe you close and let them stay there. Or maybe you give them some money so that they can make the move. Or maybe you rent a U-Haul and go help them pack. Like, these are the types of things you can do to help people out. Now, how do we make a deal work if there's just really low equity? Well, one of the things you can do is short sales. And this is the process of the bank working with the bank to take less than what's owed on the home. These were really popular in 2008. As a matter of fact, back then I wrote a book on short sale secrets that you should check out if this is something you would like more information on. This is the process of working with an agent and an offer and the homeowner. This takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of headaches, okay? But it is possible and it is done. And it really works best if the property's in bad condition. Okay, subject to. We have a whole list on our live cast with this. We've done a whole live cast on subject to. This is getting the seller to leave the loan on the property and taking ownership of the property with the existing lien. So we've got this live cast on that. You can look at subject twos on our Do Hard Money YouTube channel. And in this, you have to bring the loan current. So if you are taking over the loan and we know they're in default, you're gonna have to make those payments. You're gonna only want to do that once you become the owner of the property. One thing a lot of people don't realize is the person who owns the property and the person that's responsible for the loan doesn't have to be the same person. And that's this whole idea of deeding property. So take that into consideration. There's a lot to learn about that. So the homeowner in the foreclosure process, these guys are frustrated. They are concerned. They really need help. They really need help. They can hide. They can be rude. You want to offer their service to really help. Like, you've got to be first in the people business where you want to help people, and second in the investing business. And you can do both of those things. You have to sincerely want to help people and help them solve their problems. And if I can help more people solve problems, then I can create more opportunity for myself. We are in the people business, right? Okay, so this will be a big opportunity for investors that are prepared. That's why I'm talking about it now. We're on the early cusp of this. This is going to get bigger as time goes on here, and you've got to be aware how you can take advantage of this situation and really help some people out. So those that are willing to jump in are the ones that are going to start seeing some opportunities here. Now, if you would like some help with this, you can check out our Find, Fund, Flip system. Just go to DoHardMoney.com/get started. We have funding, we have courses, we have resources, we have calculators, we have software, and we have support as well. All right, guys, if you haven't checked it out yet, go to DoHardMoney.com/get started. Now, I promised everybody our motivated seller sheet. I got to take a drink here. I promised everybody our motivated seller sheet. You can text your email address. So text me your email address to 435-294-0433. If you do that, I will send you over my motivated sellers sheet. This is something that you can use when you're talking to somebody that's motivated and know the next steps and what to do and what to say. If you've enjoyed what you've heard today, you should check us out. I have a podcast called Income Hacker. You can share the live cast on YouTube is also a big help. If you share this with other people, I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, get that motivated seller. Text your email address to 435-294-0433. Okay, our t-shirt giveaway. So guys, which one did you like better? Did you like which shirt did you like better? Click it, flip it, and kick it. Okay, I gotta write that one down. Kate, make sure you jot that one down for us. That's one. Let's make it flippin' happen. I like that one. And so Michael says, I freaking love flipping with DHM. I like that one too. Oscar says, let's make it flippin' happen shirt. Let's make it flippin' happen. I like that. And then we've got the click it, flip it, and click it. Which one do you guys like the best of those? Type it in the comments. I'd really like to know. Okay, our t-shirt giveaway for last week. Who won the shirt? So everybody from today, all these comments, we'll be announcing that next week. So you'll want to make sure that you will be here. Okay, our winner from last week is Keith Hutchinson. Keith, congratulations on being our t-shirt winner of the week. Appreciate your comments, appreciate your feedback, appreciate you being with us. Really appreciate it. What we need to do, Keith, is email support@DoHardMoney.com, put in the t-shirt winner, put in your screen name, your mailing address, your cell phone number, and your shirt size. You can also tell me what shirt you like the best. We'll go for size first and style second, but you can let us know that, and we'll pay for the shipping, the shirt, and everything else like that. If you guys want to find out if you are the t-shirt winner for next week, be here next week and we'll be announcing this week's t-shirt winner. If you haven't already, please text me your email address so I can get you that motivated seller sheet. 435-294-0433, 435-294-0433, and find out if you are the winner of the week by joining us next week, same time, same place. We are going to be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't gotten a copy of your motivated seller sheet yet, then please do text me at 435-294-0433, okay? This is gonna be awesome, guys. I really appreciate it. Also, you can check out, I've got another video as the first steps in getting into a real estate investment. If you can't find sellers, you're not the right investor. So I can show you how to target the right properties and the right owners over and over again. Now, the way you can do that is through some of the pre-foreclosures we talked about and the involuntary liens that we actually talked about today as well. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please share it with some friends, type it in the comments. I appreciate you being with us. If you have some interest and would like some help, you can check us out over at DoHardMoney. We would love to help you out with funding, with courses, with resources, with calculators, with software, or with support. Otherwise, guys, make it a very profitable day, and bye for now.